How you guys and girls doing today? Simpson918 here, and in this video we are talking about the current state of Tarkov and more importantly the future of it. Let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? Like I always say, I appreciate and I love every single one of y'all that stop by and watch these videos. And if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit those buttons down below, like that like and that sub button, because that way it'll make our brother not. And more importantly than that, it'll get the video out to people who need to see them. But y'all, I wanted to talk about this today because I see a lot of talk in the community recently about the game dying and about people getting off. We're seeing a lot of streamers who have been playing the game for a very long time getting off of Tarkov and taking a break, and we're even seeing casual players that don't even play the game that much talk about the game as well. And I just wanted to, more importantly, I wanted to ask y'all and like just go crazy down in the comments below what you think of Tarkov right now. Do you think Tarkov is heading in the right direction? And more importantly than that, what do you want Tarkov to look like at the very end of the day when Tarkov finally releases in its full state and we have the game? What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be what it is now? Are you hoping for it to be completely different? If the game goes more ratty, would you like that? You know, I'm just going to use the terms the community uses. So if it goes more rat style and more passive, or do you want it to be more aggressive and more realistic? Do you think the game's too slowed down as it is right now? But y'all, my personal opinion on the matter right now is that what I feel like with Tarkov is that the content that releases on a monthly basis, well, not on a monthly basis, like every 4 to 5 months, it's not that much, right? I mean, we get a brand new map, we get you know, probably a couple of guns, maybe some new clothes or something that we can wear, maybe some new quests and things like that, and a trader, and that's about it. Now, one thing I do want to emphasize when it comes to Tarkov, right, and the reason why maybe I'm biased, or you know, maybe I'm on Nikita's side here, but one of the things that I think about Tarkov is that, you know, they weren't expecting the game to blow up as big as it did. Now, I'm not wanting to use that as an excuse, because as a developer and as a company, you have certain standards that you have to be held to, right? I'm not picking sides here. I'm simply saying that I do understand that the community is wondering, hey, I've invested my money and my time into your game, and I want to, you know, I want the product, I want the service out of it. But like I said, Nikita really and his team really weren't expecting the game to blow up anywhere near it did, the way that it did, you know. People like Shroud and Ninja, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, you know, all the big names you could think of in the industry hopped on Tarkov, and they started playing the game and grinding it like crazy. Twitch picked it up, and of course that's when we have the Twitch drops. We've got Twitch rivals and things like that. So the game blew up really fast, right? And of course, you know, when we think of Escape from Tarkov, we're not looking at a company that has millions of developers like something like Call of Duty or Battlefield, people who've had their skin in the game for literal years, decades upon decades, right? We're looking at a company that hasn't even had a game out for more than 5 or 6 years, and I'm talking about Tarkov because they do have other games in the past, but Tarkov alone, you know, haven't even reached its, you know, 10-year mark yet, right? 6 or 7 year mark. So, you know, I want to cut Nikita a little bit of slack here. And in terms of the way that the game's going now, absolutely, I can definitely say that when we get content, it isn't that much. And for people who grind the game every single day, yeah, you're gonna run out of content very fast. I mean, you have people, for Christ's sake, when the game wipes, I mean, less than 24 hours in, they're already level 20. And it's just like, you know, the game really isn't gonna be designed that way anyway, but you're always gonna have your people who are gonna wanna play it like that. And if you play it like that, that's fine, but you have to realize that, I mean, damn, if you're putting in 24, 48 hours of no sleep, of course you're gonna be ahead of the game. Now, one thing I will say about it is that I definitely think that they should rework the flea market system, right? The flea market system is aggressive when you think about it, because the flea market system, you know, gives you pretty much everything that you want at level 20. Essentially level 20 is in game, right? You know, you get to level 20 and you have access to everything. As long as you have the money, the sky's the limit. You can run the same kits over and over and over again. And I know that's what a lot of people in the community talk about, like, oh my goodness, you know, it's so exciting at the beginning of the wipe, because now you're going to actually have to put in effort and tactic and strategy to take someone down, because it's not just going to be one bullet versus, you know, 2 or 3 weeks into the wipe, sometimes sooner than that, depending on what map you're running. You have people who are already running slick armors, Altons, and HKs or Vectors, and it's just like, oh man, what's the point? But all that being said, y'all, I really think that Tarkov is going at the pace that it should be. it would definitely be nice to get content a lot faster, but I'm also not expecting them to pump out content like Fortnite does events. You know what I mean? Like, or Call of Duty does DLCs and shit like that. Like, I think they definitely need to ramp it up a bit, right? It's definitely slow, because even for the slower player who might play 1 or 2 times a week or even less than that, they can still get to level 20 within a certain amount of time, and then yeah, they've got the money, and it just feels like, oh, okay, I've reached end game. And it's just a matter of rinse and repeat. Now, when it comes to competitiveness, that's a whole different side. Once again, just speaking from personal experience, I don't have as many hours as those like Landmark or Pestily or any of these people who have put thousands of hours into the game, right? Will or Z, and I don't have thousands of hours, so I can't look at it from like a there's no such thing as a professional Tarkov player, right? But I can't really look at it from like someone who is mastered their craft per se and say, oh yeah, the game is lacking this, the game is lacking that. I mean, I probably have maybe close to 1,000 hours, and I would like to say that I'm like average or above average, but I'm nowhere near, you know, what you would consider godly at the game, right? So I can't really sit there and say, oh, the game's too easy, the game's too hard. I know personally me, and let me know what y'all think down below. I have a lot to learn when it comes to Tarkov. You know, I'm just getting my feet wet, as some people would say, or my penis wet, you know, whatever you want to, you know, however you want to go about that. But yeah, y'all, just a short video. I really want to know y'all thoughts and opinions on this. Do you want the game to be like more of like a ratty play style, or like a aggressive play style? You know, he was asked that in a podcast, Nikita was asked that in a certain podcast, like, hey, what do you want the game to turn out to be? And he simply said, I loved his answer. He didn't cater to one side. He didn't say, I want the game to be really passive and really slow. He didn't say, I want the game to be really fast. He said, I want it to be, I want the game to be exactly how the player wants it to be, exactly how they, you know, manage it. The truth of the matter is, in any game, and I feel like this is a harsh reality that people don't accept, in any game there's going to be metas, right? There are going to be certain guns that are just going to be better, certain ammunition, and that's what it is in Tarkov, right? Ammunition and certain armors like level 5 and 6. There's always going to be a meta, even if games tried their best. Games have tried this for what, years to come? Even games, like I said, multi-billion-dollar companies and Call of Duty and Battlefield and Fortnite and things like that have tried to balance things, but there will always just be something that's superior. So, you know, there's never going to be a perfectly balanced game. It's just never going to exist. So I think what Nikita meant by that was that he wants you to play in a way that benefits you. No matter what they do at the very end, when Tarkov is finally released and it's out of beta, there are going to be people who are going to adapt their playstyle, and they're going to learn the hard way through struggle that they can play aggressively, right? You know, like I said, once again, you know, look at the big streamers out here, the ones that make the game look like you're playing Call of Duty. They make it look like you're playing, you know, I mean, Apex Legends with their movement. It's just crazy, right? And I know that some mechanics will be removed, so, you know, we'll be getting inertia pretty soon, so that way when you turn, or when, you know, when you come to a full stop, you won't just be able to stop your momentum whenever you want and things like that. And we're going to have things that slow down fights, like when the med system was introduced. That changed up the way fights were taken completely, right? But other than that, you know, if people want to play aggressive, they're going to adapt their play style accordingly. You're not going to be able to stop people from playing aggressive and stop people from playing how they want to play, right? And people who want to, you know, rat and, you know, maybe slow down and play like more of like a passive play style. Maybe, like I said, play like a sniper kind of play style, or like a, you know, a sneaky ninja kind of play style, right? No matter how much they try to ramp up the game and maybe discourage that, like, people are going to find a way. But let me know down in the comments below, y'all, what y'all think. I personally think that in due time we'll see some major changes to the game, and it all comes down to the mindset. I know that sounds cheesy, but it all comes down to the mindset. The game is going to change in a lot of ways that people probably won't like. I just mean that in general. You know, there's always going to be a side of the community that is going to dislike the certain changes. But let me know what y'all think, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Something I will eat out of here.